My name is Jerry Nadler, and I'm just taking this time to tell you how peaceful everything's been. And everything is sunshine and rainbows and kittens, and the DNC is doing great. Thank God I never said anything to contradict these statements.
Do you disavow the violence from Antifa? That's happening in Portland right now? There's riots?
That's a myth that's being spread only in Washington, D.C.
About Antifa in Portland?
Yes.
Sir, there's videos everywhere online. There's fires and riots. They're throwing fireworks at federal officers. DHS is there. Look online. It gets crazy.
All of it began the first time some of you who know better and are old enough to know better let young people think that they had the right to choose the laws they would obey as long as they were doing it in the name of social protest.
I want to be clear in how I characterize this.
Behind me is one of multiple locations that have been burning in Kenosha, Wisconsin.
Look at that!
And I'm all for protests, but you can't be destroying your neighbors' houses and businesses.
Ooh, they're shooting. Ooh, he shot him.
Okay, everybody, we're going to try something a little bit different. I'm Boomer, your host, of course. Tonto is not currently in studio with me at the moment. And I wanted to bring up, there's so much that happens every week. I wanted to bring up the Kenosha shootings. I say shootings because we've got several incidents that have occurred. This all began with Blake. Jacob Blake got shot, and it's now confirmed that Jacob Blake was running for a knife and was told to drop a knife before he was shot by local Wisconsin police, Kenosha police. And riots have occurred since that time, but I found a really good timeline of the shootings that occurred during those riots. So this is one of the best threads I've seen so far on what's happened as far as the shooting with Kyle there, Kyle Rittenhouse. And they compiled this. This is through a lot of sources, and there's attribution at the end here. This is obviously off of Twitter with Christian Tribert. I apologize, Christian, if I get your last name wrong there. And we're just going to go through it, and I'll interlace the videos that they've got listed here to give you guys some context on what they're trying to communicate. So let's go through it together. We have a teenager. He was charged in shootings that left at least 2 people dead. I might have said 3 people, so 3 people were shot, 2 were dead. The New York Times, their visual investigations team reviewed hours, and they put this together for us. So in the hours before the shooting, Kristen Harris, Richie McGinnis, and Elijah Schaefer, these are streamers on the ground, all interviewed Rittenhouse, who said he was protecting the local vehicle dealership together with several other armed men. He also offers medical assistance to protesters, so he has some training, and it looks like if you look into Rittenhouse's past, he was a gun advocate for sure. He has done kind of the equivalent of scouts for policing. The kid believes in law and order. That's pretty evident. And he obviously wants to help people. He went and got some CPR and medical training, and he's out there for what he believes is his cause. Now, he's 17. We'll just throw that out there. He is young. So around the area, he's around in the area that most of the footage that they reviewed. About 15 minutes before the first shooting, police drive past Rittenhouse, and they thank the group that he's with, and they say, "We appreciate you guys, we really do." And they do this over their speakers of the armored vehicles. Rittenhouse walks up to the vehicle with his rifle slung. He talks with them. They share water. The police have come out after this and said that they share water to anybody. It's not specific because there's some accusations that Rittenhouse was working with the officers because of what happened at the end of this. But we'll get there in just a second. So he eventually leaves this dealership, and this is where I personally, when I was watching this the other night, couldn't locate him. We had no idea what was going on, where he was. They leave the dealership, and they're told by the police don't come back to this dealership. And that's about 6 minutes before the shooting. So to better understand what happened next, they put 6 live streams together to see all this going on. So Rittenhouse is seen in this stream as being chased into a parking lot. The guy who's chasing him on the first, he is actually in earlier videos in which he's very, very, very aggressive. I don't know how to say that enough. He's walking in people's faces saying, "Shoot me." He's very super aggressive. We're going to get into who these people are in just a second. So he's chasing Kyle through this parking lot. Kyle comes around. He almost gets Kyle, and then Kyle, which is right here, shoots him. He kind of jukes around this car and blasts the guy. Now, if you see right here, even as this plays, if I can keep it going for you, he pulls out a cell phone and he's trying to contact somebody, potentially to call in aid. But here, what's going on is that the crowd is going, "Get the hell out of here, man. Get the hell out of here." So he's fleeing. Keep in mind, 17 years old, hasn't ever shot a person before, okay? He has no, as far as I've researched, has no record at this time. So he's freaking out. He's in the middle of an angry mob. He is alone. So he is like, it's time to book it. I'm getting out of here. So they're not sure why he was first being chased, or why he was in the area of this car dealership. It was about 4 blocks away from the one that they were supposed to be protecting and were told to leave. They know vehicles in this lot were damaged. This is a person obviously doing it. And then there's some discussion. Rittenhouse is not the only one who fired. We don't know if the shots were at him or unrelated. We don't know. So anyway, he's fleeing the scene. And let's see if I can get this backed up here. So he's fleeing the scene here, and he's about to get assaulted by everybody else here. This guy shoves at him, doesn't get him. We hear at least 8 gunshots after he's defended himself. It is not the same caliber. The reports are different. So we don't know who was shooting. It's quite possible it was more of his group, because as the video plays on, he actually is running down towards both the police, and there are other armed militia down here. So they might have been firing like suppressive fire, not at people, not actually suppressing people with fire at them, but like into the ground to keep them back, because the mob would start advancing as soon as gunfire had stopped. So you also can see there's another guy who runs towards Kyle and past him, and I don't think it's an officer, but it's a big dude with a gun anyway. So police are just a block away. Well, let's back this guy up. Oh, here he is. He's running. He runs towards the police. He raises his hand. Now, they know a shooting has happened. They possibly know he was involved, but they're going to secure the scene here. They pass him up. Okay. Now, that siren, by the way, is local. So I am not anywhere near this, just to let you guys know. He does lean into this vehicle that's about to pass him and tries to talk to them. It's possible that they didn't realize his depth of involvement of what's going on, because they leave him. He doesn't get arrested here, okay? Let's see. Social media profile, he's pro-police, which we acknowledged earlier. They're still looking into it, of course, and I wanted to pause right here because if you go to Christian's timeline here, you can come here, you can look at the whole New York Times story, and I definitely want to acknowledge all the people who put this material together. When I feature clips, I try to acknowledge them in my comments as well, because it's not about like pretending I did this. I'm not out there filming this kind of stuff. Okay, so let's cover over these heroes real quick. This guy, super aggressive in the videos. Mr. Rosenbaum, 36. He's chasing the teen at the first, and he's the one who gets shot first. Registered sex offender for sex crimes involving a minor. Oh, great for you. Here's our second one. Anthony Huber, 26. He was the one who hit him with a skateboard here, aiming for his head. He gets shot in the chest, and he goes down. And I'm not sure what Kyle was using as far as a caliber, but it was pretty powerful. It takes off, and it nearly takes off this guy's arm. Not Huber, but the next guy that gets shot. He's got a criminal history, battery, domestic abuse. Here's our final. This guy, he did not die. Good old Gage. He's a member of the People's Revolution movement, and he was filmed chasing after the teen with a pistol. He's the final one who pulls that pistol in the earlier shot. He shot at close range in the upper arm, and he has a criminal record, including being armed here. There we go. This is probably the least gory shot of this because you don't get the depth of the amount of damage going on right here. Because it just took a massive hunk out of this guy's arm. So from this angle, this doesn't look nearly as bad as it is. Obviously, the dude's armed as well. It's not like Kyle wasn't defending himself. So anyway, I wasn't sure how to approach this, and I wanted to give you guys the best kind of roundabout view of this one incident that kind of sparked a whole hell of a lot. This was a straw that broke the camel's back, and happened 2 days ago. So last night, when we were watching this, it was super boring. Nothing happening. Not that I'm saying this kind of excitement's good, but I mean very little happened in Kenosha last night. It was cleared out. You had a ton of cops. Cops in Portland and in Wisconsin arresting a lot of organizers. They arrested the food truck in Portland.
Get the fuck out! Get out!
They did so much, and I'm going to go ahead and cut this off here. I'll probably get in touch with Tonto, and we'll talk about this stuff together. But I really wanted to kind of compile this so you guys had a good grasp of at least the generalities of what's going on here.